Hey guys, just want to let you know before this video starts, we have a brand new t-shirt design out. If you want to support this boat project, if you're really into it, this would be huge to help support this project, and I think you'll get a kick out of them. They're so new, in fact, we don't even have them yet. They're on our way from the printers to us right now, but our fulfillment team has all of them. They're a limited edition. There's only a certain amount, so as soon as they're sold out, they're done forever. So we just want to give you guys a heads up so you can get them as early as possible. The link is always in the description. Check it out. I hope you guys like them.
Today is a big day. We are going to bring the decks back to life. Super excited. This is one of the before and afters I've been looking forward to most, just because the decks were so dirty when we got the boat, and now they're gonna be white. Gonna have to take lessons on how to keep boat decks white, but for now we are going with coat primer number 1 and primer number 2 today. Tomorrow would be coat primer number 3, and then we will sand, clean, and get ready for top coat 1, 2, and 3 with our non-skid in between there. Yesterday I went around with this lovely thing. So up top with this diamond like gel coated non-skid, I had sanded it completely down, got rid of all the diamonds, and it took a long time, but it was easy. Like, the sander was doing all the work. Billy thought it was taking too long, so for this part of the deck he said sand it down, you can still leave the diamonds, we'll just go in with a wire brush and get everything sanded that way in between all of the cracks. Well, that was very difficult. Honestly, sanding it all down was easier, but not gonna dwell on that. My arms are very sore from using this yesterday for hours. So I'm going to just make sure we put tons of non-skid down so you don't see the diamonds, because I really don't want to see speckly non-skid with diamond non-skid. Just, it'll clash, it won't work. But
your paint's about to be poured, love.
My paint's ready, so I gotta go. Woohoo! Coat number 1 down. Coat number 2 about to begin. Definitely the easiest surface to paint so far because it's big and it's flat. When we're doing the skinny sections, we're not trying to like squeeze, we're just kind of working our way backwards, and we don't have to worry about like hitting the rail or anything because we're down low. So far going really smooth. Okay, non-skid on the bow, going on today, whoop, whoop. Our issues with the back deck with the darker non-skid, we had to go get more paint, so now we will have plenty to cover fully however many coats we need to do up here. However, we are going in the water in just 3 days, and we can only do max 2 coats a day with our temperatures, so hopefully we don't need more than that, because we are getting ready to splash, baby, woohoo. Is anybody else excited? Life in the water is so much easier. We can use our own bathroom, we can use our own shower, we don't have to wait for 4 people and then get a cold shower. We don't have to climb up a ramp anymore. So this is the last exterior project that has to be done before we go in, and it is being started today. Okay, well that was super frustrating. Not a huge fan of these rubberized particles, and it's not even the particles. Well, they're supposed to be better than sand because they're rubber, so they're softer on your feet and your knees or whatever. Toughen up, Buttercup. They're expensive. We keep running out. They took days to ship. Like, it's not the company's fault. Like, our timing is not working with the shipping, so we just ran out again. In the middle of this non-skid paint job, Billy had to go around with a vacuum and try to vacuum up some extra particles so we could get at least like the bow done so it doesn't look super weird when we have to switch to something else. But we couldn't even finish the bow. Just ran to the store to try to find sand. If we were in Florida, we could just go to the beach, but so hopefully it doesn't look too weird. I doubt we are going to find the same sized particles unless he finds like super fine sand at Home Depot, like decorative, like outdoor sand. So yeah, that was frustrating. Are we gonna even get 2 coats on today? I don't know. And the reason that it's only frustrating now is because we scheduled our splash date. So like this has to be done and at least have a day to dry before we're walking on it, getting the boat in the water. So that's a little stressful. It will look good. It will be worth it. Okay, what'd you find to save the day?
Got some desert sand, desert like potting sand or something from Home Depot. It seems to be about the same particle size as this medium grade soft sand. So hopefully it works. It'll be interesting. This will be like straight up comparison.
Yeah, $5 compared to $210.
Well, yeah, all said and done for the soft sand.
$10, yeah. So each one of these bags is $5. We got 2. I would say that $10 is comparable for how much you got for the 210.
Well, look, it fills up.
Yeah.
So this is probably 2 of these, right?
Mm-hmm. And then our bucket was 4 of those, which is $210. So exactly the same.
Definitely, if you're
but
on a budget.
But that's not like dirt, right?
It says desert sand. Everything else was like super fine. No, it's sand for sure. Much heavier than the other stuff, that's for sure.
That's bad for the environment, though. So I can't walk outside to show you, just because it's all painted in, but this is, the gray is the soft sand, the white is the real sand, $210 for a gallon, $10 for a gallon. So once we coat it over with paint, we'll let you know if we really feel a difference at all. We're gonna go pick up all that stuff, and when we get back, we're going to do our second coat on top. I mean, our second coat that goes on top. Tomorrow morning, we'll peel off the tape and we'll do more coats on top as well as the shiny parts in between. All of my towels are our attempt at trying to keep this clean for now while it's still technically curing. Got a little, I had extra paint, so I did a little bit over the soft sand on this side. And this is what we're looking like over here. I'm gonna have to step on it to paint it.
I know, I just figured. Longer the better. It looks so good when I pull the tape, like especially in the parts where there's non-skid on both sides of it. I'm gonna have to vacuum again because all the sand's coming off when I pull this.
So you can kind of see, my shadow's gonna ruin it, but you can kind of see where the soft sand meets the real sand. There's just like a doubled up layer. But I think when we get a couple more coats, you won't be able to see. Man, it looks good gray. Doesn't it?
Should we have done the whole thing gray? It'll be brown soon enough.
Okay, we just did our third top coat, second top coat over the non-skid, and we have one more to go this afternoon, and then we are done painting the outside of the boat. Woo. The last few rolls. Woohoo. We are officially done painting the exterior. Well, besides the tiny little bottom paint spots that are covered by the stands, but besides that, we're done. Everything looks really good. Everything went pretty smooth today. We can't remove most of the tape because you can't really get around to pull it off. So that will come tomorrow. But for now, we are done. Woo.
Before we let you go, I want to fast forward a couple weeks. On this side, we have that soft sand rubber non-skid, and on this side, we have regular sand non-skid, all coated with the same Alex Seal paint that we basically used on the whole exterior of the boat. Oh, so it's fully cured now, and we've had a chance to walk on it a whole bunch and just try to see if we notice any big difference between the two. Like I said, on this side, we have the soft sand non-skid. We ran out of that. And on this side, we have the regular sand that we just got at Home Depot. It's like desert sand, whatever they use that for, way cheaper. So the only differences we really noticed is, first off, weight in the beginning. Soft sand is obviously rubber. It's much, much lighter than the regular sand. And obviously price as well. $10 a gallon for the regular sand, or free if you live by a beach. Just might have to filter it or strain it a little to get any of the organic matter out of it, versus like $200 a gallon for the soft sand. Now, I thought that the soft sand was actually going to feel a little bit like, maybe not as sharp, maybe a little bit softer, or maybe a little bit not as aggressive when you walked on it. But I gotta be honest, throughout the whole boat, they're both they have a lot of grip, they have a lot of traction, it's kind of sharp. I don't feel any difference between the soft sand being actually like soft at all. Like, I think what happens is when you coat it with paint, the sediment underneath basically just takes on the hardness of the paint. So on top of that, it doesn't even look any different when you look at it. The only thing you see on the decks here on the non-skid is like maybe a stripe here and there where we like kind of overlap some of the sediment. But that happened on all sides of it, whether we use the regular sand or the soft sand. Now, with that being said, it might seem obvious that maybe you should just go with regular sand. It's just way cheaper. But I could see two scenarios where that rubberized soft sand might be a huge advantage. Both of them I cannot confirm because we didn't do it this way. But number one, if you ever have to redo these non-skid decks in the future, if you use regular sand, it's going to be a pain in the butt to sand down. Like, I don't think you'll ever be able to sand through the actual sand itself, and it'll just rip through your sandpaper and just make it dull immediately, and just a pain to sand down to get to a flat surface, or to get into all the little grooves to roughen up to be able to do another non-skid coating on that. With the soft sand, I think that would probably just sand down very easily. Like, it would sand down easier than the paint that's covering it. So if you're ever going to redo your non-skid decks in the future, probably much easier to sand the soft sand, rubberized particles that are mixed in with the paint instead of regular sand, whether you sand it all the way down to smooth or not. Now, the other huge advantage I could see with soft sand, if you did it this way, is if you mixed it in with the paint. Like, this Alex Seal paint is very thin after you mix it all up and you start to apply it. So if you use the soft sand rubberized particles, I could see it just staying suspended in that paint much easier than like the heavier, more dense sand particles. That's just another technique to apply this non-skid, is just to mix it directly in the paint and then roll it on, and hopefully those non-skid particles come out even and they come out good with just rolling it on with your roller. We did it the other way, obviously, that you saw. We put a coat of paint in the section and then sprinkled the non-skid on top of it. I felt like that was just going to give us a little bit more of an even coating of non-skid. But again, if you do it the other way, I could see that maybe those lighter, less dense particles would stay suspended in that paint a little bit better, giving you a much more even coating of that non-skid versus the heavier, more dense sand. I could see that just kind of sinking in the paint, sinking to the bottom of the tray, and just maybe clumping up a little bit more if you go to roll that out. Again, we didn't do either of those things yet, so can't confirm them, but those might be an advantage to that rubberized non-skid. Now, with that being said, if you're on a budget, yeah, I think I would say just go with regular sand. It's just way cheaper. Get it from the beach or something maybe. In places where there might be a lot of iron in the sand, I think you might want to be careful, because then the iron within the non-skid could rust. I don't know. It's something I heard. Don't know if that's true or not, but something to think about. And then if you really don't have a tight budget, or you don't have a budget at all on your project, then why not just go with the rubberized soft sand particles? I think, you know, there's no disadvantage if you have the budget to spend on it, and you might gain an advantage in the future. Anyway, see you guys later.